I don't usually forgive when a specification has nothing to do with reality. But this device looks so good and it's such a pleasure to use that I almost forgot about the missing 1000 units. The specifications are absolutely incredible. The numbers are brutal, but of course the only real question is how much these figures actually reflect reality. In this test, you'll get the answer to that. As usual, the process went as follows. The presentation will proceed as usual. We won't bother with unboxing so as not to waste time. I'll show you the exterior of the device, then I'll go over the specifications, and after that we'll get to the measurements and my experiences. So if you're interested in the most important things, stay with me until the end or skip ahead. So the device looks really good. It weighs about 3.5 kilograms. It's this huge monolith. And I think the design is perhaps the biggest strength of this projector. I can imagine it in any living room. And in my opinion, I don't think anyone will be embarrassed by it because it really does look brutally good. The design is excellent, the choice of materials is great, and the build quality is also very good. I don't think anyone will have a problem with that. The controls are on the top of the device, the connectors are, as usual, on the back where you'd expect them to be. So there are no big surprises. You get HDMI, USB, and a line out, and that's basically it. So it has all the most important things you need. As I said, once again, it's very important, and perhaps the most important thing about this device, that it looks brutally good. So what are the specifications? Well, as I mentioned, this is an LED projector, specifically an LCD LED projector. It has two 10-watt speakers inside which promise a good cinematic sound, but that's not the most important thing here. Rather, it's that the manufacturer has increased the light output from last year's already not low 1,500 ANSI lumens to 1,800 ANSI lumens. Lumens, which for an LED LCD projector is simply an incredible value. Of course, the device does everything a modern LCD projector should do, so it has all the automatic features: automatic focus, automatic keystone correction, automatic zoom. Basically, everything you could need that's automatic is included. So we won't have any issues in that regard either. The remote control is Bluetooth and the operating system is Android TV. And now, the Android TV operating system, as you likely already know, is a specialized Android interface that has been fine-tuned and optimized for use with standard remote controls, specifically designed for seamless use with home projectors and large-screen TVs. This specialized design also means that the overall range of accessible software is considerably more restricted. Unfortunately, you simply cannot download and install every single application that is currently available in the standard Android Play Store, primarily because most of those programs are not actually made to function correctly on TVs or projectors. They're made for mobile phones or tablets. These programs, which aren't optimized for remote control use, can't be downloaded or used. So why is it still good to have Android TV on it? Obviously, because on a projector we mostly watch movies, and to watch movies we need to be able to install and use the available streaming services, and to watch movies on it in full quality and full resolution. And this Android TV can do that. You can install all kinds of streaming apps on it. It has a Widevine L1 certification, so we can watch movies in the highest possible resolution. For LCD projectors, this highest possible resolution is still 1080p native, of course. So as far as I know, there are currently no LCD projectors with a higher resolution than 1080p, and this one is the same. The Android TV is basically standard. Maybe the only extra feature is that it has a separate menu where we can set the projection and sound settings. This doesn't happen on the Android TV's own interface, but everything else is the usual Android TV interface, so there won't be any surprises for anyone who's seen one before. So we've quickly gone through everything we needed to cover. I talked about the exterior, the specifications, and the software, and now it's time for the measurements and my experiences. As usual, I tried out everything I could and measured it. What exactly does that mean? Image quality, sound quality, the noise level of the cooling fan, the brightness. So how many ANSI lumens the device has. So I tested and measured all of these, and now I'm going to share them with you. Okay, so let's start with the sound, specifically the sound of the cooling fan, which is not quiet. I measured 38.9 decibels, which isn't insanely loud, but it's definitely not quiet either. You can't really call it quiet. Honestly, I expected it to be a bit quieter because the device is surrounded by huge cooling vents, and I assumed that behind them there would be a really large heat pipe radiator, which would make it unnecessary to use a high-speed fan. I was wrong. The good news in all of this is that what we mostly hear is just the sound of air. The fan itself doesn't make any noise, and that air sound is pretty much like white noise. So if we start watching a movie, the sound of the projector drowns out this noise. What does the projector sound like? As I mentioned, it has two 10-watt speakers built in, and I have to say the sound system they put in here turned out really, really well. If you buy this projector, chances are you won't need to connect an external sound system to get proper cinema sound. Of course, it's not a 2.1 or a 5.1 surround sound system, but it definitely has adequate. The audio performance manages to balance the bass, treble, and overall dynamics quite effectively, so it really doesn't sound bad at all for a device in this category. Fortunately, I can actually show you exactly how this performs in a real-world scenario, since I took the time to record a short audio demo for you. Please take a moment to listen. Okay, so now that we have heard the sound, what about the actual picture quality? At first glance, I would definitely say that the picture quality is remarkably good, offering vibrant colors and sharp details. The colors look good at first glance, we get properly saturated colors, and not many details are lost even in darker scenes. Of course, I measured it, and as with every LCD projector, the brightness is highest in the center of the image and decreases towards the edges and corners. It's the same with this one, but the decrease is completely average, so I wouldn't call it bad. Okay, so how is the brightness? Well, here is where the problems start, because as I mentioned, the manufacturer claims 1800 ANSI lumens, which would really be an incredible value for an LCD like this projector. And the big issue is that it does not actually reach those 1800 ANSI lumens. In fact, what I measured with my own instrument was not even 900. This means there is about a 50% difference compared to the manufacturer's specs, and that is a huge discrepancy. So I think there is not much point in those numbers, because I measured around 900 ANSI. And for a home LED LCD projector, 900 ANSI is actually already an adequate, decent level. We get good colors, we get adequate brightness. Of course, you do need to darken the room for it, but you get a really great cinema experience. And honestly, I don't really understand why they have to put 1800 ANSI on the spec sheet. If you're wondering whether it's worth buying this projector, my answer is yes. The thing is, its current price is 111,000 forints, and for 111,000 forints, you can generally get a decent quality projector with around 900 ANSI lumens. Already a high-end LED LCD projector. So at this price, this projector is completely adequate. It's not overpriced. If you want to buy a projector like this, you can go ahead and get it. What definitely counts in its favor is that it has really good sound and looks absolutely stunning. So if you want to set up a fixed spot for a projector in your living room and you don't plan on moving it around, then it's worth considering this Veil Pro projector, because in terms of color, you definitely won't be disappointed by it. And well, that's pretty much my overall review. And just to reiterate what I said in the introduction, I usually don't like it when the specifications differ so much from the actual values, but with this projector, I have to somewhat forgive or overlook that, because in every other respect, the projector is perfect. And as I mentioned, even the 900 ANSI lumens is not a terribly bad value. So if you like this device, feel free to buy it, because for that 111,000 forints, it's definitely worth it. You'll find the link below the video, and the coupon code will be there too, which you can use to buy it. If you like this review, you can choose from the other two videos appearing next to me, give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, etc., etc., and I'll be back soon with another review. Until then, take care of yourselves and goodbye.